Good afternoon. We're really excited for our competition this weekend. We really enjoy competing at home. We'd like to have more meets at home, and something that we'd like to work on in the future. Certainly, bringing more marquee teams into our facilities. Last weekend, we were very blessed. We've started a relationship with the University of Iowa and University of Missouri, and having the border battle, and we hosted that last weekend. Had a great turnout. This weekend is going to be quite a challenge for us. We've got quite a few guys that will be holding out this week for various little injuries and that sort of thing. It's early in the year. We're going to be careful. I think maybe over break, some of our guys were a little overzealous in their training. We usually worry about them not doing enough, and I think maybe we came back maybe a little fatigued where we shouldn't be. So we're going to get a heck of a challenge tomorrow from Eastern Illinois especially. Tom Akers is a Hall of Fame coach. He's been there 20 years, won 31 conference titles. They are a quality program, and they will bring everything they got to knock us off. So we'll be asking a lot of our younger guys to step up and fill a void for us, and I'm sure we'll have a great effort and competition. Short term, we're a little banged up right now, but nothing we can't overcome. We'll be fine. Long term, I feel great about where the program is right now. I've told people quite a bit when they've asked about our performance last year and kind of where we go from there. I believe the program has a whole nother gear to hit as our distance crew continues to improve and mature. Coach Stewart has done a tremendous job in that area, especially on the recruiting trail. And that's evidenced by our second place Big Ten finish in cross country this fall. I think our highest finish since 1987 or something like that. So, it's coming. It's real close, and I think the future of the program is still looking up. I think there's a lot left for us to do. Recruiting this fall. My biggest complaint about recruiting right now is we just don't have enough money. If the NCAA would let us have more scholarships, I think we'd have had a great recruiting class. But it was really fine. We've got 4 marquee people signed in the state, including local talent John Davis from Oakwood, 4-time state champion in cross country, and a tremendous sprinter from Galesburg, Josh Eicher, also state champion last year. Josh has got a huge upside, very talented guy. High jumper from Macon Meridian, Noah Adams, who's extremely talented, has done great things in the high jump, state champ last year in spite of the fact his high school doesn't even have a track. And then pole vaulter Cooper Jazzo from Lakes High School up in northern Illinois. So feeling pretty good about things. We're just going to keep moving along like we do all the time. Every day we just keep trying to get better. So the meet this weekend, I'd like to add, just to explain, we have field events starting at 11 a.m., but one of the things we've talked about in our sport is really trying to be able to market our sport better. And, one of the evils of our sport is, we've got co-ed competitions, and they tend to run all day. And I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not so anxious to sit at track meets for 10, 12 hours a day. So what we've tried to do to make it a little more fan-friendly is we do have field events beginning at 11 a.m., but basically we've lined up all the slow heats and qualifying heats in the morning, and then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon we start the final events. And so we'll go through the entire meet schedule at 3 o'clock. We should be done by 5, maybe a little before, but right around there. And that'll be all the fast heats, all the scoring heats, and the top people will be out there at that time. So for the casual fan that wants to stop by, they can stop by anytime between 3 and 5 and see the very best of the action. So.
Any questions for Mike? What's the level of funding for the scholarships?
The NCAA allows us the equivalency of 12.6 scholarships for men, which is opposed to 18 for women.
What percentage of tuition is it?
Well, that's 12.6 full scholarships. We're an equivalency sport, not a head count sport. Football's a head count sport. Basketball's a head count sport, where they can only offer full rides. We can offer any amount up to full cost of attendance. So we have people that might receive a book scholarship, or a few $1,000s up to some guys that are on full scholarships. So that's part of our game, is how do we split those up. And I have a good friend from my hometown who's a scout for the Minnesota Twins, and I told him it's like playing Moneyball. So it's a little bit about trying to figure out, where you're going to put your money and what the good value is for the scholarship that you offer and that sort of thing. That's the biggest thing in state with recruiting. We get criticized sometimes for kids that we don't recruit and don't sign, and it gets to be where we just can't sign everybody. And sometimes we can't make offers to people because it's just not prudent for what we have in the big picture. It's not that we don't want them. So
when you give, let's just say, 50% scholarship, then you can give 50%. That student athlete would also get 50% of the stipend.
Correct. That is correct, yes. So they just recalculate the total cost to include the stipend. So when we sit down and make our figures, that's already worked in, so it's still just 50%, yeah. That's correct. So the $2,900, I think it is this year, is that right, Ken? I think it's $2,900. A 50% scholarship, he'd get $1,450 of that.